This shall serve as an introduction to Mesachas Eruvin. Please refer back to it as we encounter the concepts again throughout the dafs for a refresher. The first introduction will be the four domains, the four rishuyos, as far as the halachos of carrying on Shabbos are concerned. Every piece of land or place where you may be will fall into one of these four domains. They are Rishos HaYachid, Rishos HaRabim, Carmelis, and Makom Petur. Should be noted that Rishos HaYachid can have multiple halachos. So as follows. Rishos HaYachid, one is permitted to carry in Mideoraisa. There are some circumstances where a Rishos HaYachid is forbidden to carry within Midirabanon. That will be a separate introduction. Now, carrying from a Rishos HaYachid into Rishos HaRabim or vice versa is an Isser D'Oraisa. Carrying 4 amos within a Rishos HaRabim is also an Isser D'Oraisa. Carrying from a Carmelis to any other Rishos or carrying within a Carmelis 4 amos is an Isser D'Rabbanon. And a Makom Petur, as its name indicates, does not have any of these prohibitions, any of these Isurim. So let's define these four Rishos one by one. First of all, Rishos HaYachid. Rishos HaYachid, contrary to what its name sounds like, does not have to belong to any single individual or multiple individuals. It is not defined by ownership. Rishos HaYachid is defined by physical shape. Rishos HaYachid is an area a minimum of 4 by 4 tvachim, with walls surrounding it with a minimum height of 10 tvachim. That is the definition of a Rishos HaYachid. Rishos HaRabim is an area that is widely used by the public and is a minimum of 16 amos wide. Many people use it. According to some Rishonim, it has to be 600,000 people who use it, just like Klal Yisrael and their Rishos HaRabim in the Midbar. According to others, it does not have to. But that is the definition of Rishos HaRabim. Now, what about all the areas that are neither of these? They're neither surrounded by walls, nor are they used by the public in such vast numbers. That is a Carmelis. Carmelis is anything which does not have walls. It is at least 4 tvachim by 4 tvachim wide, but is not used by the public. A Carmelis could be a raised area within Rishos HaRabim that the Rabbim doesn't use because it's inconvenient. Or Carmelis could be open areas. A Carmelis could be places where people will walk around, but not large numbers like that. A Makom Petur is any area which is raised or lowered from the Rishos that it's in, and its own surface is less than 4 tvachim by 4 tvachim. Therefore, it couldn't possibly be a Rishos HaYachid, or a Carmelis, or a Rishos HaRabim, all of which require a minimum of a 4 tefach by 4 tefach surface. Now, what are these walls? When we discuss walls surrounding Rishos HaRabim, what counts as walls? So walls could be walls that extend upwards from the surface, walls going up, surrounding the area, or walls could be extending downward. That means you could have the top of a crate or the top of a hill, which has walls extending downwards. That also counts as walls to surround the Rishos HaYachid. A roof would be a Rishos HaYachid because it has the walls of the house extending downward, even if it doesn't have walls going upwards. Now, those walls, like we said, have to be at least 10 tvachim high. They also have to not have any breaches. They have to not have gaps in it that are larger than 10 amos. If a gap is smaller than 10 amos, it may be considered a doorway and not break the breach, not break the wall, not be considered a breach. But if it's wider than 10 amos, it's definitely going to ruin the walls. Or if there are more missing parts to the wall than solid parts to the wall, even if each part is less than 10 amos, that's what we would call parts merubal omed, that would also ruin the wall. Now, this wall could also be a doorway. It doesn't have to be a solid wall. It could be a doorway, which consists of 2 poles, one on each side, called lechis, and one crossbeam that goes over the top, called koira, crossbeam. Those 3 items together create a doorway, and that counts as a wall because it's a doorway. Now, other things which we can say about these walls is we have a principle called lavud, whereby if you have a gap less than 3 tvachim, it's considered closed. We have a concept called gud ochis, which means a wall is extended downward. If you have a wall that doesn't quite reach the floor, it's extended downward. As long as an animal can't get through, a small animal, and this really is not too common, but it will apply over the water. If an animal can't get through, then it would be considered to be a wall going all the way down, and then the wall can also go all the way up. If you have a wall that's a number of tvachim high, it can reach upwards, up to the roof, or wherever it is that it has to. One final thing is the roof itself can be a 4th wall. That's if you have a flat roof, not angled, which is 4 tachim by 4 tachim, it can count as the fourth wall if a piece of the wall is missing. These are the definitions of the 4 reshuyos.